Gerry out here at fall practice watching these Indiana Hoosiers very early in fall camp, obviously, but just as you've been out here for an hour or two watching everybody run around, what are your initial thoughts of what you can see here in Bloomington?
You know, the most interesting thing to me is, the change in coaches, and I enjoy watching Tom, how he's now the head coach and the defensive coordinator. Mike DeBoard and I go way back, and so it's been interesting to see the new coaches and maybe the new style.
You mentioned Mike DeBoard, just from the offensive perspective, obviously years past with Indiana consistently being able to put up the points. That transition from the new offense with many of the same players coming back from previous years, how do you see that transition just ironing out from coach to player, player to coach, and things of that nature?
My hope is that changes a little bit. This is the first time in a long time that we're going into the season with the defense being the strength. And I think if Tom tries to compete with what they've done offensively right away and constantly be up tempo, they may be putting their strength at risk, meaning the defensive side. So it'll be interesting to see what Tom decides and Mike decides to do offensively. I don't think it will, nor do I think it should look exactly like Kevin's offense, because the strength has been the offense. Now the strength's the defense. So I think he's got to figure that out, and I'm sure he will.
You stopped by all 14 Big Ten schools throughout this month of August and camp. Bloomington fortunate enough to be stop #1 for you guys. What big things do you look forward to? Just bounce around all of Big Ten country, whether it's on the bus, just seeing different coaches and styles and just everything that goes into this football season.
You always want to look at new coaches, which obviously Tom is an example, PJ Fleck and so on. New coordinators always make a difference. College football is a turnover every year, so you try to figure out the new players that they've plugged in, unlike the NFL where it's basically the same roster almost every year. And then where we're going to have dinner is always an important part. And then the other thing is what's said on the bus stays on the bus.